here at Carson High, previewing the Colts matchup against Crenshaw in Saturday's LA City Section Open Division Championship. The last time Crenshaw, excuse me, edit. The last time Carson won a city section title was 2003. The last time they were in the title game, 2014 against Narbonne. Crenshaw comes in after beating San Pedro, the number 3 seed, and Birmingham, the number 2 seed, as well as ending Birmingham's 55-game win streak against city section opponents. We'll hear from Coach William Lowe, as well as 2 other Colt players leading up to Saturday's game. Thanks for tuning in.
My name is Chris Fitz III. I go to Carson High School, and you've tuned into South Bay Sports Radio.
Chris, you ran for 136 yards and 2 scores against Garfield. Looking back, what did that performance mean to you and the team at this stage of the season?
Honestly, it's just a testament to our resilience. We find a way to win every game, and that was the game plan this week, and we just made it work.
Crenshaw has been one of the most consistent defenses in the city section, not only this year, but over the span of a long time. What stands out about the way they compete?
High energy, they're physical, they're fast. Honestly, there's no team that we played this week that's like them so far, and I'm just looking forward to the challenge.
This team has grown every week. From week 1 until now, what's the biggest difference you see not only on the field, but in the locker room?
Focus. Definitely. Our first game was a big wake-up call. Really hard loss, tough loss, but it brought us together. It made us love each other more, and it made us just work together for the common goal, and that's to win a city championship first and eventually a state championship.
As quarterback, your voice matters. How have you taken command of this group as the stakes have gotten bigger?
Honestly, just keeping my guys calm. That's the biggest thing. We have a decently young team, and I don't ever want to be a tyrant. I want to keep my guys together and lead them by example, not lead them in an authoritarian way.
You've thrown for almost 1,700 yards this season, and you've rushed for almost 1,000 more. When you've got the opportunity to either throw the ball or pull the ball down, how quick is that decision?
It just happens in the moment. Honestly, I just thank God that He gave me the instincts to make those decisions, but it's not like a premeditated decision. It's always spontaneous, and I just do what I can.
Carson hasn't been in the title game since 2014. They haven't won the title since 2003. What's the journey been like bringing the program back to this stage?
It's been really tough, honestly, because there's a lot of naysayers. Had some guys that left out on our journey, but we just kept the main thing. Like Jalen Hurts said, we had a purpose before everybody had an opinion. So that's what's the main thing, main goal.
Back to last season, you watched as San Pedro put up a fight and took the city section title game away from you guys. How much motivation does that play in not only each game, but each practice?
Man, it just went to show how the better team can lose games if you don't take a team serious. You let up on the gas and you don't finish the fight, then they're going to get back up and knock you out.
How do you describe the team chemistry this year, and who has stepped up for this team over the last couple games?
The team chemistry is definitely tighter and closer than it was last year. I had a close bond with most of the guys last year, but this year the energy is different, the atmosphere is different, and that's a testament to the coaches. But in the locker room, I can say that our seniors have stepped up for sure. All of our seniors have stepped up and played the big brother role to a lot of the other guys.
What's been the biggest difference between Coach Christensen and Coach Lowe in terms of what they're asking out of you?
It's pretty similar, but Coach Christensen didn't have the opportunity to work on campus. So Coach Lowe being on campus, he's just kept us all close together, kept us all focused during school, after school, and our weight program. We lift 2 to 3 times per week, and that's been great help throughout the season.
When you look ahead to Saturday, what does it mean to you to represent Carson, the community, and everything this team has built this year?
Honestly, it's a blessing. We've seen this coming. We've spoken into existence from the beginning of the year in February, and now we're living in what we spoke. So it's time to just handle business.
Your freshman year, you play at Lawndale. Your last 3, you've played at Carson. What's been the biggest thing that you've worked on over the last couple of years in terms of growth and resilience?
just staying focused, not listening to outside voices because they don't know what happens in the weight room. They don't know what happens in the locker room. They don't know what happens in those meetings, especially on the field at practice. They don't know. So just staying focused on what I'm doing and not listening to outside noise.
Chris, why do you wear number 12?
Well, this is my practice jersey, but 12 because biblical, the 12 tribes of Israel. But also one of my favorite players of all time is Randall Cunningham. That's a big reason as well.
Who are some of your other favorite players?
For sure, Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton in his prime, Warren Moon. I like Russell Wilson. A little throwback, Colin Kaepernick, very underrated.
12 is your game number 2, right?
1.
1. Why do you wear number 1 during the game?
That was my first ever number, and I earned that number by winning a race against all my teammates, like my first year playing football. So it always just takes me back to why I started this, to be competitive and to make my parents proud.
What are some of your favorite football movies?
Remember the Titans? I like Gridiron Gang, and then there's a TV show called The Game. I like that show as well.
There we go. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Preston, Leomiti, Carson High School, and you tuned in to South Bay Sports.
Beautiful. Preston, Crenshaw has history being a very athletic team. What is going to be the key to limiting their chunk plays?
Just alignment and assignment, really. The coaches worked hard all week to put us in the right positions to make plays. Yeah, we just have to execute them.
Your defense is at its best when it plays fast and aggressive. What part of that identity needs to show up early in Saturday's game to set the tone?
Just playing aggressive for us. Try to end their hope early.
How special is it for you guys to be practicing this week after last year's loss to San Pedro took that away?
It feels really special. They came back last year, and that was just the stab. And now we just wanted it more this year.
Game-changing plays set the tone against Garfield. What's the emphasis this week in terms of creating those momentum swings based off of turnovers and crucial stops?
Just everybody getting to the ball, punching the ball out, just doing what everybody's supposed to do.
You lead the defense with 86 tackles. What's been the key week to week from a defensive standpoint during practice?
Just going hard against the offense, going one-on-ones, and just working hard.
What matchup or assignment are the Colts most focused on heading into Saturday's game?
Just stopping their speed. They're a very fast team, and we have to keep that in between the hashes.
Your offense has the ability to put up a lot of points. How big is it for you guys to practice against a quarterback like Chris Fields with the weapons that he has every day throughout the week?
It is big, and we know this is the best offense that we're going to play all year. And just having them to play against them in practice is great.
Top 3 football players.
Any position?
Any position.
Like in my eyes?
In your eyes.
In my eyes. I'll probably say Junior Seau's for sure one. Patrick Willis and I'll probably say Fred Williams.
Linebacker. Favorite football movie?
Either Gridiron Gang or Longest Yard.
There we go. Preston Leomiti, thank you.
My name is Xavier Allen. I go to Carson High School.
Xavier, defense held Garfield to 7 points after they put up 42 against Palisades. What was the biggest adjustment or execution piece that made that possible?
The coach was telling me that I would be the biggest piece of that defense for that game. He told me that I had to bully number 42, which was their far side tight end. And he was their key to all their run plays. So I had to make sure that I just kept him on the line. And as long as he was on the line and he wasn't anywhere up the field, we're good.
You're second on this team with 85 tackles. What's been the biggest key week after week for this defense?
My biggest key has been staying aggressive and making sure that we're all tuned in, that we're all paying attention. We get our play call, then we get set, and we get ready. So just making sure that we're prepared for each play.
Crenshaw's physical run game is their identity. What kind of problems does an offense like theirs possess?
Obviously, if we don't do our job in our assignments and, staying in the right gaps and we're going up the field and, we're creating lanes for them, they're going to obviously run the ball through those lanes. So we just got to make sure we just, hold our gap and play hard.
Last year's game against San Pedro, they had a big comeback on this field. How much motivation does that game play for you guys as you head into this week?
It's almost everything. It's a reminder that anything can be taken, and we have to play for every second on this field and not take things for granted.
Defensively, you guys have had a lot of players stepping up. What's been the standard that this unit is set week after week?
Last week it was sacrifice. So what are you willing to give in order to win?
You play baseball, you play football. Favorite football players, favorite baseball players?
Favorite baseball players? Obviously, I have to go with Jackie Robinson. And I'll go with Bo Jackson. I've been called Bo Jackson because of my size. My favorite football players, I do like Fred Warner and Tom Brady. I'm a pass for this.
That's it. All right. What's your favorite football movie, favorite baseball movie?
Favorite football movie, Remember the Titans. And favorite baseball movie, Sandlot, all the way.
If there's one thing about your time here at Carson, what do you want to be remembered about?
I want to be remembered as a player that put everything out on the field, a good teammate, and most importantly, a good friend.
There we go. Xavier Allen, Carson High. Thank you.
William Lowe, Carson High School, and you've tuned in to South Bay Sports Radio.
Coach, Carson's worked for years to get back into the city title conversation. What does this appearance say about the direction of the program and the standards you've built?
Yeah, it really says a lot about the kids that were here before I got here and some of the staff that was here and remained on staff when I took the head coaching job. They're the ones that kind of laid the groundwork the last few years. And getting a lot of the kids that we have in now that are our key pieces, they brought those kids in and kind of laid the groundwork and started the hard work. I just came in and really let those kids play and just provided, what a head coach should as an organization and the practice schedule and stuff and kind of let them run with it.
Crenshaw has a long history of success in the city section. What stands out to you about their consistency as a program?
I had heard of Crenshaw before I even took the Carson job and before I even came to California. And so I've had people reach out to me this week from where I was at in the IE and stuff and just say that this is a traditional, and even people around here, this Open Division Championship is a traditional powerhouse clash, of two once proud programs that are trying to get back to the top. And I think it's a really cool story for both schools.
What have you learned about the character of this group over the course of this season?
I mean, the football season, it's a long season. You start now with spring ball and all that goes on in the summertime. This goes back to last May when we had our showcase out here and really trying to get the kids exposure for college and trying to build. And, you go through the summer grind of all the practices and the weights, and you go through the early season where we had a tough schedule against some tough non-leagues. And we just told the kids as the season went on to just keep believing. And, we kind of had the mantra of win, and that if we did all the little things right throughout the day and throughout the school year, that by the end of the year, we'd put ourselves in a good situation. And, for us, fortunately, it's worked out.
What have you seen from the upperclassmen that have helped carry this team to this point?
So we have some really good seniors. As all good schools do, you're going to have some good senior leadership. But the thing I like about our team is it's not just one group that kind of carries the load. We don't rely on just one or two superstars. We have a really solid core of offense, defense, and some guys that really take special teams seriously. And so it's really been a team effort to get to this point.
Your defense has been crucial this year. What stands out about how that unit has developed since week one?
Man, they just get faster and more physical week in and week out. And that's a testament. Like we said the last time I talked, our defensive coaching staff, they coach them really hard and they set a really high standard for those kids. We've had numerous shutouts this year and they take a lot of pride in shutting down the other team's best players, which, that's the key to any good football team. If you can shut down what the other team does best, you're going to win. And our defense really spends a lot of time on that.
Crenshaw has a track record of showing up in big games. How tough of a battle are you expecting come Saturday night?
Yeah, what I really respect about them and appreciate is they had a tough road to the finals. They beat the number 2 seed and beat the number 3 seed in back-to-back weeks. And so when you beat a 3 seed the first round and then a 2 seed, they got to have some belief, and belief is a powerful weapon, especially in the sport of football with the way momentum goes. So right now, I just think they have a lot of belief in their program, and it's paying dividends for them.
What would you say has been one of the biggest keys of this season?
The biggest keys for us is just staying consistent. Consistency in the football season is huge because it's such a long season. You can't get really too low if you lose, and you can't get too high when you win. You're never as bad as you think you are, and you're never as good as you think you are. So our goal has just been consistent week in and week out, and just to keep trending up as we go along in the season.
When you look at this group and what they've accomplished, what would it mean to you and the program to finish the journey to a city section title Saturday night?
Yeah, it would mean a ton for our school, the families, the alumni. We're standing here on the football field and we got the banners behind us, and we haven't won one in 22 years. And there's still a lot of pride in the community, even though we haven't won one in over 2 decades. We have alumni that show up at every game that all they want to see is another banner hung, and you don't want to make it this far and not winning. So that's the goal.
It's like Staples Center. They only hang banners here. How special is it to be one of a handful of city section teams practicing during the week of Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's a blessing. It's always a blessing when you can practice on Thanksgiving. It's good for the kids.
Yeah, that camera loves you.
We really try to, make it a family here. Our kids get along really well, and so it's fun for them to be here on this week off because we're out of school. LAUSD's out of school all week. So this gives us a chance to be together and keep working together for a goal, which is good for our kids.
We already talked about Crenshaw beating the 3 seed in San Pedro and the 2 seed in Birmingham, snapping that long winning streak that Birmingham had against city section teams. But what's going to be the key in Saturday's championship?
The key to any high school game will be turnovers. You got to win the turnover battle. You got to win the special teams battle, and then you got to shut down what they do best. They have a couple of really good players, and we got to shut them down, and then we have to score on offense. Crenshaw, if you look, they've been shutting teams down. I know our defense has been playing well. Their defense has been playing extremely well also. So we have to be able to score and get in the end zone on them.
There we go. Coach William Lowe. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Carson's won 10 city section titles, going for its 11th against Crenshaw. This is going to be a huge test, not only for Chris Fields and the Colt offense, but for Preston Leomiti, Kingston Sula, Xavier Allen, and the Colt defense. Be sure to follow along Saturday night. I'm Nick with South Bay Sports Radio. Have a great night.